I can transfer that over. That's no big deal. Okay.
Ah, little bird got me. Alright, so since the little bird's up, I'll have to run engineer so I can RPG him real quick. There's that! I just RPG'd him while I was parachuting. What's going on, everybody? My name is Lone Wolf 2864, and today I wanted to discuss a couple of the upcoming DLCs for Battlefield 4, including Second Assault, which is just around the corner, as well as Naval Strike, that had some details released this past week. What you're seeing here is some obliteration gameplay, of course, on Operation Locker, using the Recon class here, playing a little bit of aggressive recon, some Spec Ops style, with the MTAR-21, motion balls, and some C4. This is a relatively old recording here that I had that I just never got around to uploading. But this was before the somewhat nerf of the MTAR-21. But having said the nerf, it really only affects the long-range stats of the MTAR-21. So most of the ranges you'll see in this clip, it's still a very viable weapon and still one of my favorite carbines, if not my favorite carbine in the game. But back onto the topic of this video, which are the upcoming DLCs. The Second Assault DLC, which has already been out on Xbox One for a few months. Of course, it wasn't planned to be as long of a delay in between the Xbox One release and the rest of the platforms. But of course, they have the Microsoft has the deal with DICE and EA, where the Xbox One gets it first. But as we all remember, there was a bit of a delay in that DICE wanted to concentrate on getting a lot of the glitches and some of the patching done on the game before they went ahead with any future DLCs. So, but here we are finally getting around to the release of the Second Assault DLC, which should be coming out here next Tuesday, I believe, or first of next week. And looking forward to that. I can't wait to get back on some of the old Battlefield 3 maps. Love them or hate them, they were always fun, in my opinion, especially Operation Metro, of course. It's just one of the classic maps. You either loved it or hate it. I enjoyed it, especially for a rush style, which I feel like we're missing in this most recent game. Some rush-oriented or rush-centric maps. So definitely looking forward to playing some rush on Operation Metro, as well as getting back on Gulf of Oman. Ever since that map was released in Battlefield 2, I think everybody can agree that that's one of the overall best Battlefield maps ever made. But of course, along with that, you get the 4 new weapons, which the AS-Val has been able to been unlocked in the game for a few weeks now. I had a chance to mess around with it and get some gameplay with that, and I must say I really do enjoy it. It's definitely a close range weapon, I would say. The only negative side is, of course, being a PDW, it's tied only to the engineer class, so it really kind of hampers the, I guess, the usage of it or the effectiveness of it when you're playing on a game mode like Obliteration here on Operation Locker. There's really no incentive to run the engineer class just for that one weapon. So, but also the F2000, as well as the DAO-12, the Gold Magnum, and the M60 light machine gun will all be coming with the Second Assault DLC. So definitely looking forward to getting my hands on the F2000. That was always one of my favorite assault rifles in Battlefield 3. So can't wait for that. Also this past week, they released some details on the upcoming DLC, Naval Strike, which we can expect around the end of March, I believe around March 30th. And Naval Strike, of course, is going to include 4 all-new maps that'll be set around a naval style, open sea, and of course the name hinting that it'll probably be a lot of water combat, naval combat. some of the Levolution details, though, that they released. On one of the maps, you're supposed to be able to blow up in a crashed passenger plane and capture fishing villages across the tropical Lost Islands. Also, you can drop a submarine on your foes as you infiltrate a naval base, or rush between shipping docks and rocky islands on the massive Wavebreaker map. You can also wage war across stormy seas and the largest ocean stretch in a battlefield map yet with Naval Strike, whatever. Storm an abandoned cliffside resort, or get lost in the breathtaking vistas on Operation Mortar. Love that name. Naval Strike also introduces 5 new weapons, the amphibious hovercraft vehicle, 10 new assignments, and the all-new Carrier Assault mode, which is an homage to the fan-favorite Titan mode from Battlefield 24 and 42. Well, who didn't see that coming? I think everybody's pretty much expected some kind of Titan mode-esque game involving 2 carriers. We've pretty much all been asking for that ever since Battlefield 3 came out, and I'm pretty excited about this, I must say. I think this is really going to work out, and I think it's really going to be something to look forward to and something we can all enjoy. If you're not familiar with what Titan mode is, I myself have never played Titan mode, as I did not get into Battlefield back when 2142 was around, but basically what it is you have 2, I guess in this case would be 2 aircraft carriers, and if they're going to intend on doing it along the same lines as they did in 2142, you will have a few capture points outside of the aircraft carriers, or maybe along the aircraft carriers that will somehow allow you to board the enemy's ship, basically. Once you capture those objectives, in the 2142 version, they were missile silos. And once you captured the missile silos, it would automatically start firing the missiles onto the enemy's Titan, then bringing down the shields so that your team could board the enemy Titan. And once you're able to board the Titan or the aircraft carrier, there will be a few other key objectives inside the aircraft carrier, I'm guessing, that you'll have to attack, sort of like Rush or Obliteration, that you'll have to take down a few of the objectives. And once you do that, you should be able to access the core or the power source of the Titan/aircraft carrier, thus bringing it down and winning the game for your team. So if it's along those same lines, I think that's going to be a really fun game mode and something we can all enjoy. I'm definitely looking forward to that. But of course, with any of the DLCs, there's going to be 5 all-new weapons, which have not been released yet. No details on those. An amphibious hovercraft vehicle, which I mentioned earlier, and as well as 2 additional gadgets, which they did release. For the Assault class, there is a 3-grenade launcher, or 3GL attachment. And for the Engineer class, an anti-heli mine, which is an aircraft disabling projectile that we did not have enough of already. So, sorry, I just really miss helicopter gameplay, and seeing that kind of aggravates me a little bit. Of course, we don't know the details, how it's going to work, how it's going to be balanced, any of that. So it's just all premature speculation. But hearing the fact that there's going to be something else in the game that can eliminate the helicopters further than they already are is a little scary to think about. But I have faith in DICE, and hopefully they will not screw this up. And as with all DLCs, premium members get 2-week early access, followed by the rest of the players if you just buy the individual DLC. So like I said, look for that coming out on March 30th. And I'm assuming, or I'm hoping, along with either the second Assault DLC or this Naval Strike DLC, we'll begin to see some of the other patches that DICE have been promising or hinting at, including some of the pistol balancing. Because God knows I want to be able to use the Rex again. I miss my Rex. So hopefully we'll see that here soon. And there's also going to be some aircraft balancing. So as I mentioned earlier, it's all premature speculation on some of the stats or what that other anti-air mine's going to do, because they're planning on balancing the helicopters, giving them a little more damage. Nothing's been mentioned about maneuverability, but I definitely think they could use some of that. But also they're going to be nerfing the mobile AA just a little bit to where it can't just sit back in the base and spam rockets all the way across the map. So. But anyway, that's about all I've got for this episode, guys. Go ahead and then let me know down in the comments what you're excited about in these upcoming DLCs, and I look forward to hearing from you. And as always, if you enjoyed this gameplay or some of the details, go ahead and hit the like button, let me know, and I will catch you guys next time.